Hey everyone, this is the Noble Artist here, and today is another Tutorial Tuesday. Now, yesterday I was supposed to get the You Pick I Paint video out, but my mom came up with my brother, and we had to get some wedding stuff taken care of. Yes, I am getting married. Congratulations to me. I'm just joking. My older brother is getting married on the 14th, and they came up to try to get some stuff figured out, and I spent most of my day with them, so I wasn't able to finish/start the You Pick I Paint because I guess you could say I procrastinated again, and I apologize. But I do have the colors, and I do have the winner. These colors right here were picked by Clone Custom 777, and I said I was going to pick the colors that got the most likes. Granted, there was only 3 likes, which is kind of sad, but he had the most, and excuse me. I'm going to use his colors, which is this blue, we got some yellow, and then we got some silver. So, we got some good colors going there. And he said he wanted a Scout Trooper right here, and he also said he wanted ray shield weapons. So if you could specify, that's the message, but if you could specify what kind of ray shield weapon, because those are more Vibroblade weapons. So if you want to specify like a sword, a spear, a shield, whatnot, that'd be awesome. So anyway, moving on to this tutorial. This right here, was the last You Pick I Paint, and it was a heavy gunner snow trooper, which I think I accidentally said, no, it was this one that I accidentally said snow trooper, which is a stormtrooper. It was complicated, but this guy had this really awesome minigun, light machine gun, heavy gun, whatever you want to call it. That's what it was. So I'm going to show you guys how I make this really cool gun. But only one difference is I'm actually going to put a box clip instead of this one on the side, because people said that it should have a box clip. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm not going to paint it. You guys can paint it however you like. So with that being said, and I'm also going to try to get the new version of iMovie, because it's going to be a lot easier for me to edit my videos, because most of the tutorials out there are from that version, and I just need to update it. It'll also help me with my gaming channel. But once I do that, I'll be able to edit this stuff, so it'll go really quick, and you won't sit here and watch like a 20-minute video while I put everything together. But anyway, what you'll need to do this is a regular, this is the longer clone gun that I cut the barrel off. Sorry, there's something stuck in my throat. Need some water. I said that weird on purpose. Cut the stock off. So you're going to need basically this raw piece of the gun. You will need the stock. Do not throw that away. You need that piece. You also need a piece of metal wire. I don't know if it's wire, but this is from like a craft. You know, you get this wire if you're making like reeves and basically any craft, arts and crafts. It's like thin metal material. You will need 3 pieces of metal. You'll need one about this length. I don't know the measurements, but you'll see it once it's on the gun. You'll need a shorter one, and then this little bitty sliver of metal. You will also need a piece of toothpick for the barrel. This is the other end of the toothpick that was kind of ornate that I'm going to use for the scope. I just dropped it. I think I cut the wrong piece. Yeah, I need to remake that. But no worries, you'll need something for the scope. And then this here is a piece of foam. It's like art foam. I just layered it up. There's 2 layers. And then I just trimmed it to size. This is kind of optional. You can do whatever you want. But this is going to be the box clip. So with that said, those are all the materials we'll need. We'll also need glue. I use super glue. I got this at the dollar store, which I'll probably start getting at Walmart, but it's just in a squeezy bottle. You'll need some scissors. I use these for cutting metal. They're normally up here and fancy, but I was using them. You'll need scissors for metal. These are, I don't need these. I cut the foam with that because it's just been easier. You'll need something that can, that's all tangled. You'll need something that can cut the plastic. So these work really well for that. Duckbill pliers, really good. You'll need those. Tweezer beads, necessity. Sandpaper, filing. These are all, some of these are optional, but these are all things that I've used. And then of course is X-Acto knife. So you don't need all those if you have like a Swiss Army knife or something that you have more than one of those in. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now the thing that might take long with this video is stuff's going to have to dry as I'm gluing it, so if it doesn't do it the first time, then I do apologize. What we're going to do is we're going to attach the stock first, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the base of the stock. And then I'm going to find the end that I want. I did trim the stock a little bit, which I will show you. I did cut off the top part of the stock because I don't like how, well, it's not that I don't like the way it is, it's just I wanted to do it a different way. I might actually trim it a little bit more. But I just cut the tip off so it's not that really long jagged point. Okay, so make sure that's lined up. Make sure that's even so you can look straight down. Look from the side. Look from all the angles. Just check it over, make sure it's right, because while the glue is starting to dry, you can move it a little bit, but now it's pretty much on there. And if I want to take it off, I would have to rip it off and start over. It's not fully set, but it's enough for what we're going for. So now we're going to do the barrel lagoon. Let's see. And also, if it is really loose, you can always put more glue as you're going, because I could set more glue on that while I'm trying to do the barrel if I want, which I might do. Okay, so then we're going to put a little bit of glue on the tip of the gun. Grab our barrel. Now you can use tweezer beads for these. Some of the smaller pieces I do like using my hands because it is harder to hold it with the tweezer beads, and then you can't really let go. And then especially if certain metal pieces that have a little bit of magnet to them, it's even harder. So now that we have that, plastic and wood, all these materials glue really fast to each other, especially plastic. So make sure that your barrel is straight because you don't want them shooting wonky. So the barrel is straight, which is perfect. This might help it dry. I don't know. Dry it faster. Sometimes it sets instantly. Like I can hold it by the barrel. It's on there. Okay. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on there just to keep it, just to help it a little bit. So now we have that. What should we do next? Next we will put on this piece of metal right here. It's like a little square. This is going to be that top piece right there. That's underneath the barrel or underneath the scope. So what we're going to do is take this piece, take our duckbill pliers, and we're just going to crimp it. We're going to crimp one side down. I don't know if I did that straight. Crimp that side down, and then crimp the other side, like so. Okay, so now you have both sides crimped. It should look something like this. Okay, yeah, really cool. And then that is going to go at the front of the gun, but you're going to stop right before you get to the dowel rod, or the barrel. So right there on the top, so like that. And then I just set it there. I actually haven't glued it yet, but it should look like that when it's sitting there, and it's kind of even. There we go. You look down the barrel, see how it looks. It's kind of hard to get this piece to be perfect because underneath it I didn't sand it all the way. So underneath it isn't perfectly straight, but that's getting there. Actually, I have this backwards. I should put it this way. So now that you kind of have it where you want it, or you have an idea, put some glue on the inner side of that piece. Now you don't need a lot. Don't need a little low either. Don't need to be conservative. Let's put a generous amount of glue. Make sure you get it lined up before you smash it down like I just did. Okay, it's fighting me here. Hold on. Okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. Kinda does, but it doesn't. Because when you, yeah. So anyway, that's that top piece. It's not, I mean, it looks, it's even on both sides. The only way you can't tell that it's even is straight. Well, no, it's kind of, actually, it's pretty even, pretty good. The mistake I made was not trimming down the top of the gun itself. There's a little piece where the old scope was, and I didn't sand that all the way down, which is my fault. So now we will do the scope, which I have here, but I used the wrong piece. I cut off the wrong side, which is not good. So basically the toothpicks I get, they have this really ornate handle on the end. I don't know why, but it looks cool and I like it. But I cut off the wrong half, or the wrong side for my scope. So what I'm going to do, make sure this is the right side, yep. I'm just going to go ahead and then cut off that piece. It's hard to tell, it's hard to see. You can use whatever you want, this is just what I use. And it's going to look like this. And then that little rim right there is going to be the part that is going to be glued to the actual gun. So for this I will use my tweezer bees. So I want it to be based off of this one, kind of centered. So let's put that bead of glue right at the end of that metal. Where that metal part ends, we're going to put our glue. And it helps also hold it upright so you can see the scope and if it's on there correctly. So we're just going to hold that there for a second. I've kind of put a lot of glue, so I don't know if, okay. Sometimes if you put too much glue, it won't dry at all, or it's really hard for it to dry. And how did I do that wrong? Let's see, what did I do differently with these? I think I just might have had a I think the problem I'm facing is because see that gap in between the scope and the actual gun itself? I'm not getting that with this. And I think what happened was this piece was either, the rim on this one was either thicker, so it made it pop up. But I don't like that. So what we're going to do is when this happens, don't worry. Don't fret. This is what you do. And this is good that I'm doing this now because it's kind of like troubleshooting. So if this ever happens to you guys, or girls, whoever's making this, this will come in handy. So what I'm going to do now, go into my little bucket of goodies, and this is a clear piece of plastic. I'm not sure you can see the shine on it. Clear piece that I'm going to cut. It doesn't need to be clear, it's just what I have. I'm going to cut a little square out, or a rectangle, or something. Little piece. Itty bitty piece. So now I have, you see the glare, a little piece of this. Now what that's going to do is it's going to raise the barrel, or the scope up a little bit. I almost said a wee bit. It's going to raise the scope up a wee bit right here. Alright, so put more glue, put this little piece here. And then this is going to dry super fast. So now that we have that little piece, which when we paint it, it's not going to be in the way. It's not going to look bad at all. We're going to take our scope again and try it for round 2. So now that we have that piece, it's going to raise it up a little bit, which is what we wanted. Again, hold the barrel up. Actually, I'm going to do this with my fingers because that's sometimes if you need to get really close to something, hold that there. It's easier to apply more pressure with your hands. Don't glue your fingers to the gun, which I just did. I glue my fingers to a lot of stuff by accident in this line of work. So now you can see that there is a gap behind it. You can see there's a gap behind this one, gap behind this one. It's not as big as the other one just because I didn't sand down that other part, so that metal is popping up. But it is off the gun, which is what I wanted, because you can see my finger passing behind it. I guess you can't. Or can you? You can. It's it's thin. And if it doesn't look that good to you, just put some more, just make the piece that you use to raise the scope, just double it. Just double that piece and make it higher. Or use something else bigger to begin with. So far we got this, which is looking pretty good. Pretty good. And now we are going to, see, I don't need that anymore. We are going to use this piece for the barrel, which this piece is kind of tricky. I didn't make this piece last time. I just kind of had it and used it. So I'm going to try to make it. But with this barrel piece, we have a piece of metal that goes over the length of the barrel. And then I'm going to take a hole punch and then punch about halfway through the middle. Oops, I wasn't even in the camera. Just try it again. Halfway through the middle, make sure they're both lined up, like so. And then, let's see, I'm gonna trim the corner, like so. And then just trim off the other corner. I could probably do this with something else. Actually, no, I don't think I could. I think I could probably use my scissors. Okay, so now that you have those corners, I almost said chipped, clipped, and then the center piece cut, I'm going to, I don't want to bend it over the barrel because that might break it off. So I have just the end of my file. You can use a paintbrush, you can use another toothpick. You can get another toothpick because that's the actual dimensions. And just bend it over it so you get that bend. I like to do this before I glue things on, just so one, it's the form that I want, and two, I don't actually mess up what I have. So now that I have this bent, let's see how it looks. And it's going to rest right there in the barrel, like so. And it's a little too long, but no worries. We will trim off the back, and then we will trim a little bit off the front, which that's actually backwards, but it doesn't matter because it's the same way, either way. There we go. So now that fits perfectly. It's even better than the first one because I actually made this one for it. So now we're going to apply some glue, some gluey glue in the middle of that. And then we're going to set it right down in the center. Make sure this is centered, because if this is off, this is you'll be able to see. So that's centered on there. And then we're going to press it down. Just make sure that it's, let's see if that focuses. Oh, that looks really good. That's a lot better than the first one I made. I mean, the first one's great. Don't get me wrong, the first one's great. You might not be able to see it as well because it's not painted, but yeah, there you go. That looks really good. Okay, so now what you're going to do next, we only have two more pieces. We have or three pieces, sorry. But we have the tripod and then the barrel clip. So with the tripod, this one was a little bit tricky. So I want to get this shape for the tripod right here. So it can stand, it has little feetsies on it. So what we're going to do is take our piece of metal, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to bend it over my rat tail real quick. So find the middle of it, bend it over it, like so. So then you'll have something like this. Like this. And then see if that's about right. So that's about right. So now what we're going to do is we want it to be the same length. So because I bent it kind of crazy, I'm just going to use my clippers to trim it, because they have to be the same length, otherwise the whole thing won't work. So make sure that both sides, if I can grab this, both sides line up like so. So it's like that. Okay, so now this is kind of the tricky part, because it's not, it's hard to explain it, but I was going to show you. What you're going to do is take this really thin sliver of metal right here. This is probably half the length of the barrel. Take that back, it's probably 3/4 of the barrel length. And we're going to glue just the tip of this. This where it gets technical, okay? Put a little bit of glue on the end of the metal, or the barrel, it doesn't matter. And then we are going to, I gotta figure out how to hold this now. We're going to, I got this, okay. I'm at a weird angle. So we're going to glue just the tip of this piece of metal to the underside of the barrel. Very, very important that you just glue the tip of it and not the whole thing. If you glue the whole thing on right away, then you lose. Game over. You can't do it. So now that we have the tip of this glued on, that's what we want. We don't want the whole thing. Now we are going to take the tripod. I don't know why I can't speak. The tripod. I almost said tripod. Put it underneath the barrel, like so. we're going to bend this piece that we just glued halfway underneath. We're going to bend that piece over the tripod. So essentially the tripod is going to be locked into these two pieces of metal, and it's not actually going to be glued to anything. And then we're going to push back up on there. So if you can see that, I'll try to get it so you can see it and understand it. It's not focusing at all. You'll never know. If you can understand what I just did, I glued that piece of metal down and then just bent it over top of this. So now this can freely move like so. And there's only going to be glue on the front end of this piece of metal and the back end of this metal. And the middle section is not going to have any glue on it, so your tripod can move. Now, this took some engineering to do, and it was a lot of fun for me to do and make it the first time. So I hope you guys enjoy trying to figure it out. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a very creative way to do it, and I'm pretty sure it's the only way. Well, not the only way. I take that back. I know of other ways to do it, but it's the way I did it. So now that there's glue on either end, if this is too wiggly and too loose, all you need to do is take like an X-Acto knife or something really thin and then press in to, you're trying to narrow up the gap between the metal, and then, so you can see how it's not wiggling at all. It's not wiggling. That's what I want. That one right there needs to be tightened up. But anyway, once you get that done, see, it's going to naturally sometimes start wiggly, but that's okay. But now that we have that done, we're going to bend the feetsies. So now you just want to grab a little bit. Actually I should have done this before. See? What did I tell you? It just broke off because I should have done it beforehand. I didn't listen to myself, but that's okay. We're going to take a little bit of the end of this, and then we're just going to bend it up. That might be too much, but oh well. Okay, and then we're going to try to take the exact same amount, because it has to be the same on either side, and bend that one up. Sweet! So now that you have both of those to be the precise measurement, now if those stick out too far, which they might, if you don't like it like that, you can just go back and trim it. Triminy. Let's see, there we go. So now you can do something like that. And I'm actually going to try to apply this really fast. You saw me do it the first time, but I'm just going to I'm just going to run through it and then put it back, because I can go a little bit quicker if I'm not trying to explain it, if that makes sense. I'll try to do it on camera so if it focuses, you can watch the action. I would cue like some epic music at this point, but I don't know how. So, you're stuck with me singing. No, I'm not going to sing either because I can't do that. What if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Okay, put this back here. Now, this is going to be secure, okay? Don't let me fool you with, oh, it broke really quick and really easy. It's not strong. I tried to bend a piece of metal, a thick piece of metal, with pliers, and I put a lot of force, unwanted force, onto this piece. So it did not break because it was weak. It broke because I tried to manhandle it with the wrong tools and the wrong spot, everything was wrong with the situation. And that's why it broke. So now we have this going. Now, last but not least, we have to add the box clip. So we're going to take the box clip. Now you can use anything you want, it doesn't matter, because I just used, I can't show you because it was from something weird, but I have a, it's like art foam. Someone gave me a giraffe hat and it had art foam on it, so you can probably get that at Michael's or whatnot. But we're going to actually bend this back into position to see how far back we can put our clip, which is probably about there, right after the actual like trigger from the weapon itself. We're going to put a little bit of glue. Now art foam, this stuff, like glue almost melts it, so it's going to go and then this stuff's going to like dry super fast. It's going to be permanent. Make sure that it's lined up. Make sure that it's on there. So it looks pretty good from both angles. So you can see how it's even on either side. Straight on is even. It's not crooked. I did cut it kind of weird, but that doesn't make it it's not crooked. I just cut it kind of funky. Let's put a little bit more glue on there. Now you can just kind of reinforce everything with glue if you want it at this point. Like I don't want the barrel to fall off. The scope is on there pretty good, but I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. And then you can never have too much on basically the pieces on the end of the gun that might get bumped more often. It doesn't hurt to put more stuff on. And then I do have, no, I don't have anything on the other side. I'm getting this confused with my other gun. Getting my heavy machine guns mixed up here. So that is it. I'm sorry this video was 26 minutes so far. But if you liked it, hitchhike it. But this is it. This is the heavy gun. This is how you make it. Now all you gotta do is paint it. Now I painted mine like this. You can paint it pink with purple polka dots if you want. You can do whatever. That's why I didn't paint it, because you can do whatever colors you want. You can make a camo one. You can do all sorts of cool things. But once it's done, it should sit perfectly like that, which is really awesome. That's so cool to look at. And then it falls over. Stand up. So yeah, that is that. And then of course we can fold it up like so. And then he could run. It's posable. It's really cool. So if you guys like this tutorial, now that it's not okay, if you like this tutorial, hitchhike it. It is 27 minutes, which is crazy. So if you get to the end of this, give yourself a pat on the back, reward yourself, get a Snickers. Let me know what other tutorials you want to see. Leave it down, comment down below. What other weapons, whatnot. I will finish You Pick I Paint hopefully soon. I'm working tomorrow, but I will try to get it done tonight if possible, or at least start it. So that's going to come out. What else is new? I had some stuff on eBay. I have a couple things that might still be on there. Nobody bought them, so I was like sad face, and I didn't relist them. I will also be hopefully getting in. I got to order it, but I'm going to get it. Some of the metal that I use, I'll put that on my eBay so you can use the exact same stuff that I have. I'm also going to try to work more with my template card, which I don't know if you guys are excited about, but it's going to be pretty cool because you can use this and use all the same shapes I do. So with that being said, y'all have an awesome, fantastic day. Don't forget, if you're the first person to leave a comment on my video, you get a shout out up in here. Don't forget to fist pound the subscribe button. It helps out a whole lot. I put the link to my other tutorials here so you can go check them out because they're really cool. Y'all have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you later.